Hi, dear students. Welcome to LMS, Department of Collegiate Education, Karnataka. I'm Anand, Assistant Professor of English, GFGC Ramnagara. So, we have already looked at 6 sessions of presentation of Pygmalion by G.B. Shaw. We are moving towards the 7th session of 3rd semester BSc Text Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. The learning objective of this session is to know about the nature of English society, how the characters deal with each other, how they relate to each other, and also superficiality of class distinction, how they behave towards the other class of people. The learning outcome is to understand the hypocrisy, pruderies, and inconsistency of higher society. Students reflect upon their own society and issues related to class distinctions. In the background of their living, they can relate whatever the British society of that period with that of the society in which they are living. Students also come to know about Shaw's concerns expressed in the play. So this scene takes place in Embassy Party in London. This is the ultimate goal of Mr. Higgins to take part in Embassy Party, taking Lisa to that party, changing from her from mere flower vendor seller to Duchess. So there is a transformation and the physique, the style, more than the physique, more than the appearance in terms of clothing. She has got transformed in terms of the language that she used. So here the scene Pygmalion Act 3 continues. Mrs. Higgins is frequently exasperated by her son's lack of manners. We already looked at in the previous session that she is not satisfied with her son's social graces because he behaves very rudely whenever her friends and other relatives come to her house. She completely sympathizes with Lisa when the girl leaves Higgins and takes shelter with her. They treat her very, very badly, very rudely, and so she takes shelter of Mrs. Higgins to escape from the wrath and the anger of Mr. Higgins. She is perceptive, considerate, and intelligent. We can come to know about Mrs. Higgins' character in this scene where she is perceptive. She considers the problem or predicament of Eliza as a poor girl from the lower class and facing the tortures, probably the tortures of Mr. Higgins and Pickering as well, forcing her to learn artificial language or the language which is not her with the blood, and she has to put on accent, put on using of different phrases which is suitable for the upper class English society. According to her, Pickering is no more thoughtful than Higgins. So we come to know slight difference between Pickering and Mr. Higgins. Pickering seems to be little considerate, but according to Mrs. Higgins, the mother of Henry Higgins, she does not differentiate between them. She considers both of them are very adamant and they are inconsiderate towards the girl. And so, according to her, Pickering is no more thoughtful than Mr. Higgins. This scene was written for the film version actually because the scene of the party, which is sophisticated, the crux of the drama actually, which is mainly done for the sake of the film version of the play. And also we can come to know the character of Nepomuk comes into the scene, who was a Hungarian interpreter who interprets the use of language. He also has come to that party to judge Eliza and her way of speaking. He was a Hungarian. He was a student of Mr. Higgins actually. He had taken tutor or tuitions from Mr. Higgins earlier and now he has come there to judge. He discovers the deception of Higgins as Lisa was presented as aristocratic by birth. So she is not by birth aristocratic, but then Mr. Higgins' ploy or a plan to convert a common flower seller into the Duchess could easily be understood by him, and so he understand the deception or the cheating of Mr. Higgins in the process. He accuses Lisa for faking her nationality apart from faking her social class. So he also comes to know and abuses, rather comments on her, stating how she has taken part in the scheme of Mr. Higgins and Pickering in deceiving her identity as well as her nationality as such. Pygmalion Act 3, Embassy Party in London scene, which continues. Nepomuk was convinced that Lisa must be as Hungarian and of noble blood. Lisa spoke English perfectly, and only foreigners who have been taught to speak it will speak it well, according to him. So in the beginning, they all got convinced that there is really a transformation happens in the language or presenting of Miss Lisa. Higgins is victorious but finds little pleasure in having outwitted such foolish guests. Even though he has outwitted the foolish guest who got convinced that Lisa is from noble blood or basically from upper class, but then he has regret or he has guilt in his mind that he has cheated or used his tactics in outwitting the foolish guests. We come to know that from this scene, what all the attempts these two people take on Eliza to make her duchess and pretending her to be from the noble birth. And the scene ends with little disgust, and also Mr. Higgins and Pickering feel that they ended their task of tutoring her, the great painstaking task of changing her, and feels relieved of